Well, we're always off to a good start when I get checksummed off my own server. So that's fun. I'm not sure the reasoning behind that, but okay. Either way, Greg Stan was able to join, but I was not. So that's always a brilliant start. I'm not sure why I've been checksummed off my own server, but at least I know that checksum works. I'm really unsure as to why I was checksummed off my own server, because there should be nothing wrong. I'm rather confused, unless the track's playing something up with it, maybe. Yeah, the track is. Let me remove it off there and then restart the server again, and then all should be fine. It's because the track didn't fully upload, so it fails checksum every time, but the car did, so that's fine. Hopefully we'll be on shortly and all should be sorted out. All should be lovely, and I can watch some people do a few laps, hopefully, if they get on the server. As that's the whole point of these streams, to give people a taste of what's going on. So we're just loading up now, and yep, the checksum error has been fixed. That was just caused by the track not being fully uploaded to the server, but as you can see, we are all working now, so time to get up to the wonderful thing called ACTV and start spectating whoever joins the server, really. So we'll go back to pits. We've got Rio joining currently. Everyone's using the VRC FW31 for this event, for the qualifier event at least anyway. So it's a cool car, it does the job, and it really requires you to start figuring out the car, I guess, if that makes sense. Right, so we've got a few people revving up the cars, which is always good to see, so I shall get the speed trap up as well, wherever that is, and then we can start spectating whoever really joins the server. So that'll be cool. I haven't actually had any chat messages pop up, so either it's completely dead or it's not working, one of the two. It's going to be Rio Sat going out first. In the FW31, no, the chat just wasn't working, that's all. But you can hear how good these cars actually do sound as he rounds through the first couple of turns. I know a good time that we are looking at is around a 56. Oh, bit of a lag spike there, sorry about that. That was the game, not the stream. As he rounds the long right-hander and is about to head into the famous left, which he's actually ran rather wide on the entry, and he's also running out into the wall, so maybe Greg's out, no he's not, but either way I'm unable to spectate anyone via the tower at the moment because nobody has said a lap. But I was, apparently you can do like control +3, but that doesn't exactly work, so we'll be spectating Rio again via the spectator mode as he rounds to come onto the back straight. Let's maybe get an onboard view. Don't really have the best ones with this car, but nonetheless it's still better than nothing. So you can see he's getting up to a hefty amount of speed, looks to be about 315, which is where you want to be with these cars. He comes down into the last chicane then. Let's see if he will set a clean time, which will mean... oh, he is running medium tyres, which is interesting. Oh no, he's running super soft, sorry, my bad. As he comes down into T1 then. Nice and hard on the brakes, early on the power. As he comes flying up the hill, let's see what he can do. He rounds the corner, rounds the right, gets it turned in nice and early, which is what you want to do. In the lead cars themselves, you can actually, when it changes down the gear, it really helps turn the car in. So it's good in that perspective with the lead cars, and Rio is one of the fastest with the lead cars, but he's still got a little bit of work to do with the VRC ones. They're not really to mine or his taste, and we drive very similarly, so it does make sense. So he's going to run a little bit wide out onto the curb through the long left-hander as he powers down then. One of the straights, which you notice it may be one of the highest speed points just because it's on downhill. He does miss the apex of the left-hander, but I'm sure as this is the early time that he's on the server, I'm not surprised that he has a fair bit of time and he's still trying to figure out what he can do where. So after he sets this lap, I will be able to spectate him via the free mode, which will be handy, as then I can flick through everybody, and that should be that. We've had nobody in the chat, and only 3 people, well, 2 drivers really on the server at this time, so hopefully he'll come up on the sidebar here when he passes through. He didn't come up, that's always nice to see. Maybe he'll be on his next lap by now then. No, he set a lap, but he's still not up on the sidebar, so that's rather weird. I'm having a lot of issues with ACTV recently, and I'm not sure why. So I really shouldn't be. There's no reason why I should. So the ACTV tower is still there, and the controls aren't working either, if that makes sense. If you press control like 1 and 3, it's supposed to move between cars, but it doesn't work for me, which is extremely weird. Is Rio out on track? Oh, Greg's out on track now. He's driving rather slowly to start off with. And he's going to run very wide into the left corner, and that means that he's out onto the grass. Of course, people are just trying to find their feet with this, so we'll soon see what happens. This may be Project D. He has actually joined the server, Project D, so we'll see what he can do. Hello Pinder Productions, welcome to the stream. So we're just watching Greg at the moment, him being the only car on track. Just waiting for some people to show up on my ACTV sidebar. Would be nice, but we're not really having anybody show up for some reason. Turning it on and off, not 100% sure why. Maybe I need to mess around with the config a little bit, but we still aren't having anyone. Laps can be invalidated, maybe I need to have that on, I'm not sure, but either way it's not working as desired. So we're going to have to continue to use this mode for the time being. Okay, Rio and Greg are quite close on track, so maybe we'll see a little bit of a battle between them. But apart from that, that's all we can really go off. Of course, these cars are not as quick as the league cars we are running. The league cars all use individual models of every single Formula 1 2009 car, and each, well, 2 drivers will be per team. We'll be commentating all rounds that I intend on running, but it depends if I qualify in the top 20. If I don't qualify in the top 20, then I will most likely be commentating and streaming all of the rounds myself. But if I do get into the top 20, then I'll probably be racing, and Eula should be streaming all of the races. Chat disconnected, that's always good to know. But I haven't been disconnected from the game. So that's a good sign. A fairly clean first turn from Rio. Maybe that'll actually put up on the sidebar. Yes, it does, which makes things a lot easier for me, and I can get rid of the config finally. So it's currently Rio on pole for 1:30.2. Good time around is about a 27, I think, a 26. Warm-up lap or nay for races? That's a good question. I doubt we'll do one, just because it's going to be a little bit too hard, I think, for everyone to line up back in their positions, and I don't particularly see the point of it if we have to restart the session. But either way, it's something that was in the pipeline at some point, but we decided to just get rid of it as we thought it wouldn't work. Rio getting that left turn fairly nicely done, a little bit of a twitch on the exit, but nothing that should really ruin his time. He's currently the only person in the 10 minutes that the session has been up to set a clean lap. Yeah, YouTube does seem to be having problems. He sets 323 through the speed trap, so that's pretty quick. Most cars are only hitting about 315, so he must be running slightly lower aero than everybody else. As he rounds the final corner then, let's see if he can improve on his time. A little bit of a hit of the limiter, but he goes for a 130.027, so he increased his time by a tenth. So we will soon see what actually happens over the course of this session. Hopefully some more people will join, but of course it's down to them whether they do. I've had a lot of interest in this league and currently not much interest is being shown, so that's unfortunate. However, the people who are on the server I will definitely keep in mind, and we shall go off of these people. So it's currently Rio, who I will put the time delta up just for preference. Well, for reference, he's found half a second this lap round, 6 tenths. Make that 7, but he may lose it on the exit as he has pushed the car a little bit too much in the corner. He's still going to be 6 tenths up. These cars don't seem to lose all too much speed in a straight line as he comes down into the left-hander, missing the apex slightly. You can see he's lost about half a tenth through there, but nothing too major that could really ruin his lap. Let me up the bitrate of the stream a tad, as I reckon my internet can handle it. As he comes down then into the final little complex section, running it rather deep into the corner, losing a fair amount of time. There's no point running it in to get the exit speed, as pretty much straight on the exit you're back on the brakes. He's going to find 3 tenths that lap, but we know what we saw, he could find another 4 tenths from that, so he sets a 29.6. He is going quicker. As he rounds the first corner then, so let's see what he can do as he goes up the hill. 49 minutes left of the session. He's found about half a tenth so far this time round, but maybe he's lost it in that corner. Now he'll bring it back on the exit, but losing it there, he's actually gained it back through this section, or has he? He's actually about a tenth down, so we'll have to see if he can find any more time. I will lower the volume of the cars, it seems to be a little bit too loud. As he comes up the hill then, preparing for the long right-hander, but we all know that he can find time in the last little complex section where he messed up before. He has lost 2 tenths, but we all saw what happened last time round. He ran extensively wide and he's gained all that time back through getting a clean set of corners, getting it nicely turned in there. Could have been on the power a little bit earlier, but I think he's just playing it cautiously this early in the practice session. As he comes up the hill, here we'll see hopefully a big increase in his time if he gets the corner correct. He's going to lose it on the entry, but as you can see, there you go, he's gained 2 tenths on the exit. Well, that's what it seemed to look like. Maybe he has only gained a tenth, but either way, it's still going to be quicker. So let's see what he can do. He's going to be about half a tenth quicker as he comes across the line. So that's a 29.612. He was quicker off the corner this time round, so he has got a bit of a quicker run in the straight line. Really misses the apex of the first corner as he comes up the hill then into the third corner really. As PGR Ural 27 joins, I hope I've pronounced that right. He is from Turkey, so this is his home track. That's what it says next to his little name anyway. Bit of a slide on the exit, losing a bit of time. However, he's still got a tenth up on his previous. We all know what a good time is around here. A 27 as Bowtie the Fox joins as well. He is a British driver, so let's see what times he can sort of set. So I'm not sure that he's actually raced with us before. But either way, it's good to see some new drivers coming onto the server and getting involved with this league. Windows threat protection. Windows Defender summary. My device has found no threats. Lovely. I really need to know that. As we come round through the S section, he's just keeping the same time as he has before, struggling to find the extra time that he needs to, but nobody else at this time has set in another clean lap. We'll soon see. He goes even quicker through the speed trap this time round, so it's good to see. Maybe he's playing with the setup of the car as he goes. I'm pretty sure you can do that with these. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure it is an option. As he rounds the last corner, he's going to get a much better exit. I thought he had, but it's going to be about the same as he had before. He's going to hit the 29s with a 29.499. Round the first corner, very nice line. He's found a tenth there. Can he improve? Can he proceed to find the time that he consistently has throughout the session so far? However, no other drivers, although there must be about 4 or 5 on the server, nobody else has set a lap yet. So we're just going to continue to follow around Rio Suck to see what he can do. Getting a nice line through the last little bit of that section of track. But he is going to lose a bit of time, but maybe he'll be able to claw it back. Not with a line like that, he won't, as he's lost a little bit of time. But he must have got on the power a whole lot earlier than he had done before, as he's brought it all back. A little bit of a clip of the grass, which is not ideal, as it's going to send him off on that section. Is he going to run it wide over the curve? Yes, he is. And I think that is the end of this lap here. Nobody else has really set a lap at the moment, so I'm still waiting. Oh, as he really loses it out of that little section there, smashes the front end into the wall, and that is going to be the end of his flying lap. As he's proceeding to fly around the grass, which is always lovely to see. But we haven't actually had anybody else come on track at the moment, or have we? And ACTV hasn't worked. We've had Greg stands, so they're 149.2, but he hasn't come up on the thing yet. This spins out if it's not at 100. Well, drive around and make it go to 100 if you're not happy. As Rio's going to stay in the pit lane then, so we'll soon find out what actually happens throughout the rest of the session. Somebody did go around, but they obviously didn't set in a clean lap. As they've come back to pits, somebody else is going out. Sorry that we're spectating a car in the pit lane here. There's nobody else on track from what I can gather. So, although someone did go out, we're not going to... Okay, Rio's actually going out. But Project D is sort of 31.6, but it doesn't seem to be clean as it hasn't come up on the thing. So we will spectate Project D or not. Let's spectate Greg. He's currently 13 seconds off the pace, so maybe we'll see why that is. Perhaps he's just learning the track, taking it cautiously, which is always a good thing to do in the early stages of learning a new car and track combo. So he powers down the straight, hitting the limiter in 4th as well as 5th. Little bit of a lock up on the brakes. You could hear the engine revs die, but he's really got a lot of front end wash on there. He's obviously lagging a lot, so that's not my end, I don't think. Maybe it is my end. I'm not sure. But let's have a look at Project D then. Okay, Greg Stan did actually set a lap, so it's good. I can spectate him now, but he's spun it round. So I think that's going to be the end of his lap. Rio's currently on an out lap, so he's just warming up his tyres. He's going to run wide, let someone go through. Not sure who that was, but it's going to be someone. Maybe Rio's going to try and use the slipstream of the car in front, but he might be a little bit too far off at this point. We'll soon find out. There's lots of people hitting the limiter in these cars, which is not particularly the best thing that you want to be doing, as there's a lot of time that you can lose in it. Let's go into the extra outside view then that we do have with this track, and it's a fairly good little camera set as well. It should be good for capturing most of the action, I've got to say. Forgot to press F3. As Project D sets a lap with a 131.6. So he's a little bit off Rio, 2.1 seconds, but if you keep tracks on the server, you'll see that Project D is one of the faster drivers at the moment. But nonetheless, Rio's found 2 temps in that first corner, so maybe the track is gripping up. We'll soon see what happens, but Rio's, at least he's got someone to follow here. He's going to lose a little bit of time through that little corner there. He's actually lost 2 temps. He was up on his time out the first corner, but he's dropped 2 temps down somewhere in that little left section. I just must have missed it from not being on the onboard, as his lines did look pretty good. But he is going to even out and get equal with his time. His personal best anyway, which is the fastest of anyone at the time being. Although there are about 5-6 people on the server, only 3 have set flying laps, which are valid. 40 minutes left of the session then. So he comes around the left-right, very good little corner. That's quite challenging, but if you get it right, you sure know that you have. As he comes through the right then, on the straight, even though that doesn't particularly make it a straight. It's the same sort of principle. On the braking then at the 100 meter board. Getting it stopped, very nice. He's found 4 temps this lap, which is good to see, but what has Project D found? As Rio doesn't seem to have gained much on him. He's going to get quite a sloppy exit and lose a little bit of time as Project D goes fastest, but Rio takes that time straight back off him by 1/1000th of a second. What a lap from Rio, so both going to lose it down into T1. A very good set of laps from those two then. Pretty equal, I've got to say, so let's see what Greg Stan can do. He's coming into the last corner, but he's currently 6 temps down, but if he's on the same lap as we were watching earlier, then he's gained back a fair amount of time. As he comes round the last corner then, a lot of understeer on Greg's car, so he obviously hasn't experimented with the tune all too much. But he is going to get a better start onto this lap than he has done before, with 40 minutes left off the session. Going to ride it over the curb into T1. Bit too late on the power that time round, Greg, as he is going to come up the hill, but he's going to be a 10th down before he gets into this little complex section here. Bit too much curb on the inside, but he's found a 10th from it. But he's lost the rear end. Maybe he's just running a little bit too much on the engine brake setting. So that seems to be what's dragging the car forward as he loses the rear end round, and that is going to be the end of his lap there. So we're going to have to go back to pits if we want to find somebody else. It's going to be nobody's on track except Euro 27, who may have still a valid lap this time round. Maybe he has. Yes, he has. He's sort of 29.6, so he's half a second off the leading 2. But we never know, we may see, because these cars are by no means all too difficult to drive. They're just about finding where the time is, and that's the hardest part about driving these cars, is actually finding where you can make the time. You could see there he was using the downshift to get the car turned in, but that's just a bit too much speed into that corner there. And he's really messed up that lap, and he's lost about 2 seconds. But Project D has come back out. Let's see how far behind he is. He's actually ahead, but he is on an out lap, but we saw that all he's got to gain is 0.001 to get ahead of Rio at this point. So we'll soon see. We've got 39 minutes left of the session. He's actually going to carry a lot of speed through that corner. That looked bloody quick. Not sure if many other people are taking that much speed through, but it looked really quick nonetheless. Maybe it's just the gearing that he's running making the car feel faster. He is in 7th. I think Rio's only in 6th. By the time he gets to this point, so maybe Project D is just running shorter gearing and the engine note made it feel like it was faster. But nonetheless, he took a brilliant line through there, and nonetheless, I say that nonetheless way too much. As he comes on to his flying lap then, let's see what he can do. He's on par with his personal best coming down the straight. As Euro 27 comes out of the pit lane, is that going to interfere with Project D's lap? No, it's not. He's going to get clear of him, and he's actually found 2 temps in that first corner alone. So either here comes the track grip or here comes Project D in his secret tune. Maybe here comes the track grip as he found 4 temps again there, but he did have a massive rear end lockup from shifting down a bit too early, and he's currently 2 temps down, but we'll soon see if he manages to pull it back. Maybe that's from tune, or maybe that's from the track grip being increased, but he's already found a 10th through that corner alone. So he's really motoring at this point round. Almost flat through there. He's found the time that he lost back, so he is going to be about 6 temps up if he can put in a clean lap, which is really where we want to start getting into the 28s, into the 27s, maybe even into the 26s. A big slide coming out of the little S section there. So coming down then round the right onto the final straight before the last couple of, I guess you could call them chicanes. The left right, which isn't particularly an overtaking opportunity as we saw from Red Bull. Maybe it was 2009, 2010, it was somewhere around then when Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber had a bit of a collision. But as you can see, Project D is going to take the fastest time here. It's going to be a 28.7, but we all saw his little mistake and how much time that did cost him. So we should see him hopefully gain that time back. Greg Stan's still about 8 seconds off at this point, but I'm pretty sure that he is just doing sighting laps. So hopefully we'll see Project D gain a bit of time through this corner here. He will do indeed, but not as much as I think he would have liked to, as he did make a bit of a mistake on the exit too, or it was just a lag. Either way, he's found 4 temps this time round, which is actually, if he completes the lap, Maybe it's even going to put him about a second up on Rio, but he did get a fairly sloppy line through that right-hander. And he has lost a little bit of time from what he had on his lap, but he is going to carry it flat through that corner there, so he's going to be doing something with his tune to be able to get it flat, and he's found half a second. Maybe Rio is going to be about a second off at this point, as Project D really is flying. He has lost time out the exit, but these cars don't take long to get back up to speed whatsoever. As he powers down the straight, you can see he's directly on par with his time. He's not losing any. If anything, he's actually gaining a tiny little bit of time, braking just after the 100 meter board for Project D, so he is a bit later on the brakes than Rio, as he chucks it through the final set of corners, out of the last one, not squaring it up, I don't think as much as he'd like to, hitting the limiter in third, but he's going to go 9/10 quicker than Rio, currently in second place. Taking it very wide through the first corner. As Ural, he seems to have set a lap, not sure if it was faster, but he goes 1.513 seconds slower than Project D, who's running away with it at this point. Of course, Fapster is on the server too, and those two were really destroying the leaderboards, to be honest. They're a lot quicker than I was, and they're a lot quicker than anybody else was, so maybe they found something in the tune, but nobody else has found that yet, and it's really punishing people mentally, as we have seen on the server. There has been a few little outbreaks of anger. Oh, as Project D runs it wide, and maybe they'll dirty his lap. He's going to lose the rear end, but he's going to lock up all fours. Oh, he almost brought it back round to keep it on the track, but he just runs wide. As Rio's on the track, he's on an out lap, but Greg's actually found 2.5 seconds this lap, so maybe we'll see him improve. I think he is just doing sighting laps at this point. Of course, this is only the Tuesday practice session. There's the Thursday practice session, and then the final practice session is going to be on, Thursday. The F1 1975 Montjuic race is going to be on Friday, which we don't have many sign-ups to at all, but when we ran it, it was an absolutely brilliant car and track combo, so if you would like to get involved in that, then feel free. As Greg rounds the final corner and loses the rear end. That's a bit of a sorry sight, unfortunately, but Rio's actually found 3/10, so maybe he'll even get closer to Project D this time round. Going to get it very nice through there, keeping it on par, maybe even a tad quicker than his personal best through there. So he rounds the left again, and he has dropped back a tad, but he is going to get it. There is a car up ahead, not sure who it is, but Rio is going to get a little bit of extra time this lap round. Not sure he's going to be close enough or anywhere near to get a slipstream. Oh, okay, a bit of smoke, so maybe they were having a terrible lap and just decided to stop. Not the best idea too, but whatever floats your boat, I guess, as there's pretty much half an hour left of the session here then. As Fapster goes 0.005 off of Project D there, I should have really spotted that, but I didn't know who the car in front was, and it was Fapster. Let me just ping that the server is actually up. So there's 30 minutes left of this session. Let me get the stream chat back up, which is there. Nobody really in the chat at the moment, unless I'm missing it all, of course. Fapster's going to be about 4/10 down this lap, so I suppose we should spectate Rio, who is about 2/10 up this time round. The YouTube page is not working. That's always a brilliant sign. Perhaps that's why there is no chat messages. But Rio seems to have caught massively up to Fapster. Maybe Fapster's just not having the greatest of days at the moment. But for some reason I'm not able to view the stream, which is always very, very fun. It's not having... okay, now I can. Very cool. So, here we go then. Down into the final little section. Rio's found 3/10 under braking there. Maybe it was just from following Fapster, because of course following someone, you're going to get an idea of where they're running. And with Fapster being 8 tenths up on Rio, you can really see that he has found time. He's only half a second off of those two now. And he is going to back off. So let's have a look at Fapster. Oh no, that wasn't Fapster. Maybe that... Oh, that was Ural 27, who's currently a tenth down in the first corner. Greg's actually found 2 seconds this time round, so that's good to see. Project D is out, and he is ending his outlap, so maybe this will be a good person to watch. Let's see what Project D can do as he comes round to set his flying lap. He's found a little bit of time in a straight line, so maybe he's running less aero, or he just had a better run out of the corner, running in a tad too deep into the corner, but he is going to carry that exit on the speed and even out on his personal best time. And he is going to lose a tad through there, but maybe he'll gain it back on the exit, which he has, but then he'll lose it again on the exit because he had to get out of the power from riding the curb. And he's going to be about on par with his personal best at this point. Of course, track grip will be improving throughout the session, but he is going to lose the rear end and just mash on the power to try bring it back round. But with these cars being on such a long wheelbase and such a narrow wheelbase, if that makes sense, narrow in width but long in length, once you spin it round, there's no bringing it back round. It's just going to sit the wrong way. Fapster is currently on a lap, and he's found about a tenth in the first corner, so that's good to see. Let's see if he can complete the lap. There's half an hour pretty much exactly to go now in the session, so it's good to see that some people have come onto the server and practiced, but not all too many really have. Which is a sad sight to see, as there's been a lot of hype behind this league, and a lot of people have wanted to get involved, but if they're not going to come on the server and show much interest into it, then that is pretty much the end of it, to be honest. But nonetheless, Fapster's here, and Fapster's here to show you who is the king, which is really what he's showing now. He's found 4 tenths through the middle section. He's going to go really late on the brakes, locking up the inside wheel a tad. He is going to lose time, just a smidge, nothing too major, and he's still going to have that half a second advantage that he had before that corner. That has dropped off a bit now. Maybe he's running a tad high aero, not sure. What's he going to get through the speed trap? It's not going to come up, which is always lovely. But nonetheless, he's found 6 tenths now. Make that 7. Perhaps he had a very sloppy section there, but he's really got the line sorted. Squaring the car up on the apex, and he's found 8 tenths over Project D. 8.886. What a lap there. Let's see what Rio can do. He's on an out lap, but Fapster decided to go on the brakes. I thought Vettel was the king. What, Jaden? Jaden isn't here. It's probably 7 in the morning for him on a Wednesday, which means he has work. I've just been sent a petition to run the Hungarian Grand Prix in CRS Formula 1 2009. No overtaking. Ural's 3.7 seconds down, so maybe he had a dodgy lap. Rio's just coming onto a flyer, so let's have a look at Rio actually. So he rounds the first corner. He's found a little bit of time, lost it on the exit though, but with this improving track grip, maybe he'll be able to find it in the corners once again. Seems like he is. He's found a temp through there. He's going to chuck it in as Blank joins the server. Good to see him back in the CRS races, as it has been a little while. So let's see what he can do. Rio is on par with his time. He has had a fairly sloppy couple corners, so we can all see from this that the track grip is, of course, ever improving, which is what you want to see. Oh, for God's sake, Jaden's just come online. Are we going to see that doomed message at the top of the server? Maybe not. Yes, we are. For God's sake. Well, Jaden's here, boys. I mean, lads, whatever, females, women, respecters, the whole lot. You can be anything you want to be. So we've got 27 minutes left of the session. And Rio is going to find about 2 tenths off his time, but we all saw how much Fapster gained in that last little section, so maybe there's been a bit more grip in there, but we'll soon find out. Rio's gained about a tenth on the braking actually, so let's see what he can do. Around the last corner, he's going to be about 3 tenths up, which is where he wants to be, about a second off. So he's really gaining time here, so we'll have to see what he can do, but let's see what Project D can do. Sees a lap up. I clicked the wrong button. Someone's off wide, but Project D is about 2 tenths down at this point. But as I said earlier, on the previous lap we were just watching, Rio has been taking advantage of the improving track grip. So maybe we'll see Project D take advantage of that too. They're now able to take this long left-hander flat out, which was able to be done earlier. However, you can see he has gained back all that time. He's now 0.030 behind on his personal best, which is of course nowhere near the 8 tenths that he needs to find to get up to Fapster, but it's still showing the consistency. He did make a mistake and had to drop back, so I thought we'd take a look at somebody else. And that somebody else is going to be Rio, who's been having a rather frustrating time with the VRC cars, but as we can see, he's only about a second off, so he has found time through using this practice session, which is always good to see. It's always good to be practicing with other drivers who will be we're all running the same car, and we're all running on the same track. So it's good to see. Just to let you all know, with maybe 10 minutes to go, I may jump on the server. I'm not sure though, as a driver. I haven't really decided yet. But Rio is going to find about another tenth, maybe 2 tenths if he keeps it up through this last little section. So it's good to see he's gaining time. And if he doesn't mess it up, he will be below a second off, which seems to be the case. He's 0.937 off now for 28.2. So a pretty good little lap there from Rio. So let's have a look at Project D. He's found a tenth, but it's nowhere near the 8 tenths that he needs to catch up. I'm going to have a little bit to drink. I've got some Oasis Summer Fruits. Squash thing that I got in the meal deal this morning. 25 minutes left of the session. It's rather nice, this Oasis stuff. Oasis, if you want to sponsor F1 2009, let me know. You probably don't. You probably don't even know who I am, which I respect, but got to try and get out there somehow. So we got, well, I just stated how long we got left, 25 minutes, if you misheard me. As Greg Stans actually got down to 4.226 seconds, as somebody was on the inside of the track, and that really off-put Project D, from what I can assume, as he's, well, he went wide, almost bailed on the lap, but he has found that time in the last little section, maybe not, but he should be able to get it back on this exit if he gets on the power nice and early. No, he's not. He's going to be about 0.050 down. Let's see what Ural's doing. He's on par with his time. I click at that. It was just bad luck from the commentator. Greg's about half a second down this lap. Running it really deep into that, almost getting into the pit lane. So that's the end of his lap. But Project D, next lap round, he's found a 10th already in the first corner. So that's good to see. Let's see what he can do. He's found 4 tenths. He's coming for Fapster. He knows they're just as quick as each other, Project D and Fapster. Project D doesn't really have the time to run with us much. He did run the first season of F1 88 for a couple races, but this was all the way back in March time. It was early 2018 we ran Formula 1 1988 the first season, and we did decide to run it again just because it was such a good season. And if you didn't know, I plan to run it again. So I love the cars so much, and the plan is to do a full season of every single track. So that's the idea. I'll just go back to the alternating tracks, but it's whatever tracks have got 24 pits really. Well, I should stop talking about other things, as Project D has found 4 tenths, and we all know how much quicker, how much more time people have been finding in these 3 corners alone. So we'll soon see. He's already found a 10th through the left. He hasn't found a 10th through the right. Maybe you'll find a 10th through this left. Yes, he has. He's going to be right up onto Fapster now. He's going to be less than 2 tenths. Okay, he's going to be more than 2 tenths off. I misread the calculator thingy there. But he's getting ever closer to Fapster. As we have a look at Rio then, he must have gone off. So he's 2.6 seconds down. Same with Ural, and Greg Stan is in the pit. But let's have a look at the man of the hour then. Let's have a look. Oh, Jaden's not out. Boto the Fox is out there, and he's still a 134.2, which is 6.907 seconds off. Can't have a look at the timings, unfortunately. Blank's actually still at 28.8, so a very good lap from him, considering I haven't heard much from him practicing-wise. So it's good to see that he's setting those sort of laps early on. It's a shame that I can't see him in the sidebar. Maybe that's just because I don't have enough spots up. I don't know. That's rather interesting, actually. It is a very fun track. It's one of my personal favourites just because there's such a wide variety of corners. And there's always a lot that you can go off. I may switch to the things around. Vettel only needs one lap, that's very true. He does only need one lap. He's in pit though currently, so it's gonna take a bit of time for him to come out with a lap, but let's see whoever was. Okay, that's Project D up ahead, and I assume it's Fapster behind. Maybe no, it's not Fapster. It's Rio stuck behind, who's really trucking it into the first corner. That's the time that he needs to find a 10th in one corner. Well, a 10th and a bit, really. That's a very good first corner from him. Let's see if he can continue it on for the rest of the lap. He's really found the grooves. There's his 3 temps. Almost 4 temps. He exits into the next corner. Rio, as long as he doesn't mess up this lap, he's finally figured it out by the looks of things. Can he get into the 27s? I know that's what he's been trying to do all week, well, all last week really as well, and he's failed. So let's see if he can get into the 27s. I don't think he's very far off. He's got to be about a 28.2 or a 28.1. So let's see if he can do it. He's on a... oh no, I need to do it, that one. He's on a 28.2, 3.4, so all he has lost all... So I'm lagging a lot. This isn't fun. This isn't fun at all. Okay, we're all sorted out now. Ish. Or not. I don't know. It's not having much luck here. He's lost it into the first corner. That's going to be the end of that. Ural's on a lap, if the stream's working. It doesn't look like it is. At all. Hello? Internet, you working on there? Right, well, what's his name? Ural's found 0.03, so if he continues to find a lap, he hasn't tuned the car, you can tell from the gearing, he's not pulling anywhere near as much speed as he needs to down the straights. So we've got 19 minutes left of the session. He needs to change up that gearing because it's not favouring him in any way whatsoever. Shall we see what Vettel's done? Vettel's still in the pits. Bowtie's still out. He's 6.99 seconds off still. We could have a look at Blank, see what he's doing. Of course, I can't view his time delta, but quality is... yeah, it should be better now. Maybe change the settings, as mine just went down to 240p. Blank runs a little bit wide over the curb, and that's probably going to be the end of his lap, if he had one. But still no laps from Jaden. Which is interesting to see, as Jaden is one of the drivers who I expected. Of course, well, he don't need to practice, does he? Because he's Jaden. He's just as fast. No matter what, I don't think he really practiced for the GP67 event much at all when he went and won that. To be fair, he did crash, but that's not the point. He still won, just because of a dodgy pit stop strategy. But I can't fault him. He's a brilliant driver, and he really brings a lot to CRS. Without people like him, it just wouldn't be the same. Whoever we're spectating now is really overturning the car. I'm not sure who it is, but they're really overturning. Please don't be Rio. Okay, it's not Rio. It was Greg. He was really overturning the car into the corners. Nobody's particularly on a good lap. Project D's on an out lap. Rio's on an out lap. Ural's on an out lap. And Greg's half a second down. Fapster is out on track though, and he is just starting a flying lap now. So let's see if he can improve his gap over Project D even more. He's not going to be from doing that, or maybe he is. He's actually found a temp through there, but it carried way too much speed into the corner, bogged down the front. His car does seem to be understeering a little bit, so maybe he's gone to softs. Not 100% sure, but I know he was running softs at one point, but now he is not. Sorry, something just came up. Okay, we're back. So Fapster's actually dropped about a 10.5, so maybe the track grip is finally up. Let me have a quick look on Race Essentials. Track grip is at 100%, so this is going to be the most it's ever going to be. Fapster getting it nicely turned in through the corner, but not the most efficient way of doing it, as Bowtie the Fox finally sets a lap. He's still 6.997 off. but his lap was obviously valid. Maybe it was the exact same time, but someone's driving the wrong way. Whoever that was, I don't know who that was, but yeah, someone drove the wrong way, so please don't be Jaden. Okay, it wasn't Jaden. He's still sat in the pit lane. I'm not sure who was driving the wrong way. Someone was. Let's go back to spectating laps. I'm better at doing that. Faps is 2 seconds down. Project D's 18 seconds down. Rio sucks 2. Well, he's a lot more down now. Urals has an outlap. He's somehow spun out at T2. Greg Stans is starting his flying lap now, and Fox Boy is a 10th up on his 6.997 second time down. He's going to get it turned in nicely on the brakes early. Perhaps he's just doing some sighting laps. I don't think he's been on the server for all too long. He's going to run it quite wide. He clearly hasn't touched the setup much at all. But he is going to find a little bit of time, perhaps. Let me see if Fapster Seb was going the wrong way. Oh, it was Euro 27. Yeah. So we've got 15 minutes left of the session, basically. Who's out on track, who's on a lap. Well, Fapster's actually battling with someone, so that could be entertaining to watch. Even though Project D's a little bit up on his time, Fapster's going to overtake whoever that is. So we can have a look at Project D. Here comes the Project D Power Boys. He's half a second up. Fapster's only got 2 tenths on him. Somebody else set a lap. It was Blank. He's 1.5 seconds off. So a little bit of variety in the grid, which is, well, it's good to see, I guess you could say. There's 14 minutes now left of the session, as that's about the 5th time I've said that now. If you didn't know, there were 14 minutes left of the session. As he comes into the last section with 4 tenths. Is he going to be one of those people to gain a 10th a corner through here? Not by doing that, he probably won't. So there's no point trying to get it set up for a good exit when you've got really no exit to aim for. But he is going to find half a second, which should put him on pole by about 2.5 tenths. And that is what it's going to be. Fapster's not going to be happy with that whatsoever. So he put a lot of time into getting that lap. So maybe we'll soon see what he can respond with, as he's about to start his flying lap now. Obviously a pretty shoddy exit, as he has lost about half a tenth. So he comes down in the first corner, getting it turned in nice and early. Perhaps I should experiment with that, but he has lost a tenth already as he comes up the hill. So perhaps Fapster's is trying to get back into the groove of things. We've got 13 minutes left of the session. As he comes down the hill, he has found the time that he lost back, but he's going to run it just way too deep into the corner and lose 2 tenths. That's an interesting line through that corner, but it seemed to work, as Blank goes third fastest with a 28.1. Rio's not going to be very happy with that at all, but it's good to see that those 2 drivers who were close in F188 are once again close in F1 2009, so maybe we'll see some sort of sparks rivalry between those 2, like me and Assetto Drifter really had throughout Season 1, and it was especially Imola in Season 2, where he found a lot of time in the car that he was running. His McLaren, he was finding so much more time than anybody else, and it was only at the end of qualifying where I got one lucky lap where I was able to take him off the top by about half a tenth. But the F188 series was really, really a good show, especially when we started getting the races streamed by Euler. If you want to watch the most CRS streams, Friday it's going to be Toaster, Saturday it should be Euler, or it will be Routzy or Kitu, but most likely it's going to be Euler, as he's our sort of main streamer. Oh, as Fapster has a big lock-up into the first corner and loses the back end, so that's going to be the end of that. As Project D's found another 10th. Fapster's going to be much displeased, but Fapster, he's trying all that he can at the moment, but Project D seems to be the better driver today. Well, we never know. There's still 11 seconds. No, there's 11 minutes left of the session, and that is going to be it for this little stream. So I've been going for around an hour, so that's all that we're really going to see today. Is He comes into the corner a little bit wide. It seemed clean, but he just didn't get it as turned in as I think he wanted to. But he is going to be up on time no matter the less, which is where he wants to be, as far away from Fapster as possible. Even though this counts for nothing, it's good to see that people are getting practice. Oh, as he just shifts down the gear a little bit too quick, and that kicks out the back end, and that's going to be the end of that. Ural's currently banging off the rev limiter. Interesting strategy, as the Fox is about 1.983 seconds down all the time. Fapster's about to respond. Here he comes. Here comes Fapster. Watch this. He'll probably set the fastest time by about a second and a half at this point, which wouldn't surprise me at all. As he really has. Fapster's been a brilliant addition to CRS. He's been showing up to almost every single event that he can attend. I know the Friday events are a bit of a struggle for him, but all the Saturday events he's shown up to, I don't think he's really skipped an event. Maybe one or two for holiday. But Fapster's really been a key driver to CRS. So let's see what he can do this lap. As he comes down into T1, getting it turned in early, a little bit of turn, then a whole lot on the apex, which seems to be working for him. He's lost a little bit of time, but nothing too major that's going to upset him over the course of the lap, as we've got most cars out on track at the moment. Interesting line through there. He is going to lose a tad bit of time, but maybe he'll gain it back on the exit. He's trying to experiment with lines at this point. At 60R, Katz joins, our veteran Season 2 F188 driver. So let's see what sort of times he can post. There's only 9 minutes of the session left, and I've heard hardly anything from him at all throughout the whole, since F1 1988 really at all. So it'll be interesting to see what he's got. I'm not sure what cars he usually drives at all, but he was driving the Minardi in F188. So Fapster's going to do the same thing again, shifting down the gears just a tad too quick. It kicks the back end out as the engine blipper just can't keep up and it doesn't know what to do. So you can change down gears quick in these cars, but by no means as quick as you really want to. But it's still going to be quick enough. Just after the 100 meter board, he gets down into the final section. He's found a 10th in the left. He hasn't found any time in the right. In fact, he's lost time, but maybe he can slingshot it out, but he's not going to find 4 tenths in an exit. He'll find a few hundredths, but nothing that he really wants. So he comes round into his next lap. Everybody on track at the moment except Jaden. Haven't seen a single lap from Jaden at all, or any driving activity whatsoever. But I'm sure when he comes on track he'll take that #1 spot, during the cheeky little bastard that he is. But right now all eyes are on Fapster as he's trying to take Project D off the pole time. He's been trying to all week. They've been really close all week. Been setting times in hundreds, maybe even thousands of each other when they've been on and off practicing in single player. He's going to get a bit of a sloppy exit and he's going to abandon on that lap, but Project D's out. He's about to come onto a flying lap, so can he find even more time on Fapster here? We'll soon find out. Project D, of course, he did run the GT2 League with us a really long time ago, late 2017, early 2018 we ran that. And that was a really good league actually. It was a shame because we had a fair amount of sign-ups. It's just people were just playing games, were really taking the piss, to put it blunt, and they weren't exactly taking the league as serious as it should have done. The CRS was in its very early days at that point. It was the second league that I think we ever run. Or what was the first? Was the first... Let me have a quick look. What was the first? I can't remember. The first league we ever run was F1 1991. I can't believe that I forgot that. But the first league that we ran was with the ASR and VRC 1991 cars. It went down alright. It was an alright league. We had a couple notable signings from that. Of course, people like Jaden, Fapster and all that lot. We even had a exclusive, really, sort of amazing driver actually showed up to one race. It was Monaco, and that was TBR Ezra. He really showed us how things were done when you know how to play sims properly. He's gone on to much bigger and better things now. He's running iRacing competitively in R-Factor 2 and all that lot, and he's become a very good and well recognised sim racer at this point. But he was going to join us for the F167 event, but unfortunately he's not. As PGR John Mackin joins, not 100% sure, but I think he is on the server. But Project D is going to bail from that lap too, and Fapster is on a flying lap as well. So these two battling back and forth. We've got 6 minutes left of the session. Can Fapster take the pole off Project D for this practice session? We will soon find out. As he powers down, he's dropped about 2 tenths off. But we'll soon see. That is very true, Funky Monkey. I'm sorry how long it took me to read that message, if it was near at all or not. But people do need to understand that driving at stock is going to get you nowhere, but people argue that they don't know how to tune the car when there are many available guides online that you can simply look up. Chris Hay did a brilliant guide about a month, 2 months ago of pretty much tuning every single aspect of the car, what it does and how it affects it. And that's all that you really need to know. And these cars come with a fairly good stock setup. As you can see, everyone's within about 2 seconds of each other. Of course, Jaden still hasn't set a lap. It's been up for quite a while. He's been on the server for maybe 25 minutes now, and he still hasn't set a lap. As Fapster comes on to the straight. Let's see if he can go any quicker this time round. Then we will spectate somebody else. But Fapster's really pushing at this point. He's had a brilliant T1. He's kept it on par with what seemed to be an unmatchable T1 from him, as he wasn't able to get it every other lap. But this time round, he's got it perfect. Running the inside tire over the Astro as he comes round double left. I think he could take more speed through that, and that's why he's losing a tenth. Perhaps he's just got it into his head that that's the line to take, that's the safest line, which in my opinion it does look like a very safe line, but it's not going to be the line that's going to get you the quickest time, which is what you want in a session like this. As Fapster's really pushing, you can see how much he is, and that's probably dirties his lap. He's going to slam on the brakes, and that's going to be that. Fapster's on an out lap. Greg Stan's going to improve. I know that he's just started his lap, but Project D's out. He's going to go quicker. He's gonna. Oh no, he's not. I keep forgetting what the start-finish line is on this track, but it's not where you think it is. It's not that big border. It's slightly behind. As they come on to the next lap, he's found half a tenth. 500. He's found 2 tenths in one corner. Are you taking the piss? Either way, Project D is the master of tuning Formula 1 cars by the looks of things, especially these modern ones. He's found 2 tenths on Fapster. They're going to be in the 26s, which is absolutely insane in these VRCE cars. There's no way that they should be in the 26s. The cars in real life weren't even setting 27s, I don't think. But these boys have figured out how to do it. These lads, these females, these whatevers you want to call them. They've found him. He is going to run into traffic that I'm not sure is going to get out of the way. He is going to get out of the way. But all the time that he had, he's lost it all. He would have been in almost into the 25s, which is lead car territory, which is absolutely insane. Project D is definitely going to be one of the people to look out for in this league if he chooses to run it, as this has been some insane driving this lap. He's found half a second. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to find it again, but some of that, either the tune or the driving that he's done, is honestly impeccable. There's nothing that you can fault with him whatsoever. He's clipping the apexes where you need to hit every lap. He's faster through T1 this time round. Running it out to the curb. Not the best line for fastest lap, but for consistency, yes it is. Chucks it round the left. He's found a tenth. Chuck it into the right. Not as tight as Fapster, but he's kept that tenth that he found. It's probably not going to be the 5 seconds. Down a second to get the drive out the corner. Risky, but it's worked for him. He's almost up to 2 tenths up. Coming down into the right. Very wide on the apex. He's probably going to lose a lot of time from that. He's lost all the time that he had gained, but we saw where he gained all the time last time. As John Mackey sets a 33.7, which is going to be a fair way off the pace, about 6.7 seconds. So he's running the same time as Arctic Fox. So they come down into the first left, a little bit hesitant on the entry of the steering, which is probably going to sacrifice his exit. Coming out the corner, it's going to be borderline with his time. As Cat sets a 27.3, which is a decent time. I mean, yeah, 29.7, sorry, my bad, wrong way around. That puts him 5th at the moment, or 5th of all drivers on the grid. As Project D may find the time in the last corner, maybe not indeed. It was sad to see, but he had a brilliant set of laps. Fapster's 2 temps down, you can see how much he's pushing. Katz is a 2nd down, but John Mackey's found a 2nd. Let's see if he can beat Greg Stan, see if he can find the extra time. He's going to lock up, and judging by how much he's turning the car, he's definitely running a stock setup. But he needs to find 2.3 seconds if he is going to beat Greg Stan. So let's see what he can do. As Project E goes into the pits, that will probably be his last lap. It's sad to see that Jaden didn't set a single lap, but at least he was on the server to see what was going on. Round the left, round into the right. Not sure there's going to be 2.3 seconds from doing that. Maybe it was even worse last time round. He runs it out onto the turf, spins up the wheels, and that should be a 6th position for John Mackey. It is just. What a time from him. 4.285. Get in there. Fapster's going to be half second down, but this is going to be the final lap from him. So let's see what he can do. This has got to be the lap that needs to get him that pole if he wants to win this practice session, which has got no reward whatsoever. But it's going to have something for his mental gain, I guess you could say. So that's it. The session is over. Fapster's got this lap, and this lap only to prove that he's practice session 1 king. It's not much of an achievement, I don't think, but I'm sure he'll be happy with it. He's lost 3 temps, so he's got to find 3 temps at some point. It's Project E pits. Fapster's lost 4 temps now, but he's brought it back to 3 with that exit off of the right-hander. He had to back out of it, and that's probably going to be the end of his lap there, as he's ruined his run down onto the straight, which is sad to see. So fucking Jaden sets a 27.8 on his first flying lap, and that's going to be the end of the session for him. But he's found a 10th, not that the lap will count, I don't think. I don't think anybody else is on a lap. It's just going to be Fapster, who's 6 temps down. Maybe Katz was on a lap too, but he was on an out lap. Greg Stan's going to go all the way down to 8th, and that's probably going to be it. That's going to be the end of the session then. Fapster's going to finish 6 temps down on his best, so it's going to be a 27.8, I think. As Jaden's still trying to find it. Jaden's already ahead of Project D. Fucking Jaden. He hasn't practiced once. We're about to stop. Thursday now. That's right. Funky Monkey knows what's going on. As that's going to be the end of practice session 1 then for CRS F1 2009. Pole position is going to go to Project D, and then it's going to be Fapster 2 temps off. Jaden, who should have really been pole if he completed his lap. He's such a cheeky twat. Fucking Jaden. And then Rear Suck's going to be in 4th, 0.95 of a second off. Blank 5th, a second off, so good to see those two so close. Pre-GR Euro 27 is going to be 1.7 seconds off. Not so closely followed by 60-yard Cats. Then John Mackin, Greg Stan, Bowtie the Fox, and me, who didn't set a lap whatsoever. So I'm going to chuck the server back onto F1 1975 now, which is going to be the race for Friday, which hopefully Toaster will stream. If not, it's not the end of the world, because by the looks of things, not too many people are coming, but it's still going to be an interesting race, as the last time we ran that car track combo, it was absolutely insane. So thank you all very much. Sorry about the Windows sounds. I've got to restart the server, otherwise people will get unnecessary server practice, and that would be against the rules. But yeah, thank you all very much for coming out to this stream. Cheers, Pinder Productions. It was definitely a good practice session indeed. Very good fun to watch what was going on, and I'm glad that I'm sort of making this happen, if that makes sense. Hopefully we'll get a few more people turn up to the next practice session, which will be Thursday at 8 to 9 PM GMT. So thank you all very much for this, and the actual event, the qualifier, which you've got to set a top 20 time, a top 20 time or 6 seconds slower than time, if that makes sense. So you've got to be top 20 or 6 seconds off the pole time. Yeah, that's how we're going to be running it. I may as well say this on stream, and then I'll announce it on the server earlier, as it's easier for me to say things than it is to type. Basically, whatever the pole time is, it's 20 places if they're all in 6 seconds. If it's like 15 places and after 15th it's 7 seconds off, then you've got to get in with 6 seconds. So you won't be able to race. So thank you all very much for coming out to the stream, and I really do appreciate it. If you do want to get involved, all necessary links are in the description. Got my private Discord, the League Discord in the middle, and my Twitter that I never use at the bottom, and I'm not sure why it's there, but if you want to follow me, feel free. Thank you very much for watching this, and goodbye.